so we get a good shot of it.
You ready?
What class is this for?
This is for professional presentations.
And then are you done with the whole thing?
Oh, I wish.
Oh,
I wish.
She's got another year.
okay.
You gonna sit on? You're gonna stay down there. I need you to do my computer, actually. If you will, since I forgot my clicker.
Well, I don't even, oh, okay, I do, okay.
All right, everyone, so my name is Kathleen, and we're going to talk a little bit about why you should never stop learning, and what some of those things would include, and let's,
I just wanted to make sure I had you.
I need you to pick one, please.
Maybe,
You're not paying her enough, Kat. That's the problem.
yeah,
Try the arrow button over, just the right arrow
Or the
button.
space bar.
there you go.
So when I think about continuing education, the first thing that pops into my head is a memory that I had when I was about 6 years old. Now, if you all will take a moment and think about when you were 5 or 6 years old and what Christmas was like. Chances are you were super excited. You had all your dreams and imaginations of you were going to get that pony or that race car or whatever you could possibly think of for Christmas. Now, my Christmas when I was 6 was a little bit different. I remember very vividly my mother coming to us at the time. She was a single mother of 3 children trying to support us and trying to go to school. And she told us, "I'm so sorry, but Santa won't be coming this year. I'm so sorry, I do not have money to buy you Christmas presents this year. So I do not know what will be under the tree, if anything." Now, for a 6-year-old, you can imagine how traumatizing that might be. Thinking maybe there was something wrong, maybe I was bad, and Santa was going to give me a lump of coal because I was bad, so that's why I wasn't getting any Christmas. But the truth of it is the fact that my mother did not have an education. And because my mother did not have an education, she was unable to support her family. She was unable to provide financially, and she was unable to really provide for a situation that she had never planned on being in. I can almost guarantee you that no one in this room has ever thought of the possibility of going through a divorce or some other situation where their spouse or loved one might be unable to support them any longer, no matter what situation that might be. Now, President L. Tom Perry had an awesome quote. He states, "If we make an effort to obtain the best education available to us, we are in a better position to be self-sufficient and not to become a burden to the society in which we live." Now, this is from the 1998 October General Conference. If a man of God is telling us that we should continue our education and get a higher education, there has to be something to this. As you can see, this is a chart of education levels versus income levels. The higher up it goes, the more money you make, and the less unemployment you will be in. As you can see down here, my mother had a high school diploma. Well, a high school diploma, you can see is second to the bottom of your income base. Obviously, that's going to be very difficult to want to support a family with. Well, if you go up, even if you just get an associate's, you can see how much it goes up. It goes up by almost 150 points. And now, not only are we told by a prophet that we should continue our education, but we're also told by the Lord. In D&C 1097, we read, and as all have not faith, seek ye diligently, and teach one another words of wisdom, yea, seek ye out the best books, words of wisdom and learning, even by study and also by faith. So we know as members of the church, and even if we aren't members of the church, if the Lord's telling us to do something, it's got to be pretty important. You know, we can look back to the times of Noah, and we can realize he told everyone to get on a boat. Why did he tell them to get on a boat? So they wouldn't die. Chances are, if he's telling us to get an education, there's some good reasoning behind it. One of the most awesome things I've found as I've been studying about the benefits of gaining your education and progressing with your education is that a higher level education means you're going to have less of a chance of dementia. Now what dementia really is a form of Alzheimer's. It's literally a deterioration of your brain. Your brain literally will grow holes in it. As you can see, they've actually discovered that education can actually change the way the brain is formed. It can change how connections are made, and the more education we get, the better those connections are, the stronger those connections are, which means you'll be able to understand and learn and have a more fully functioning brain longer in your lifetime. This is a picture that you can see the difference between these two. This is going to be your normal brain scan. You can see all the activity. More activity is going to be in your reds and oranges. So the more you learn, the normal brain. Now on the other side, you can see what it looks like if someone has Alzheimer's. You can see all the dark areas. Those areas are dead tissue. There's no activity going on. There's no electrical activity. So you can understand why it's so difficult for an Alzheimer's or dementia patient to exist and to function. Now there's lots of ways we can accomplish continuing our education. Some of these could include crafts. Whether you enjoy knitting, making jewelry, or painting, you can always learn a new hobby or craft. Something to do with your hands. While you're doing something with your hands, you're learning, you're making your brain function, you're forming those connections that are so vital to us. Another one is hobbies. Whether you enjoy working out in your shop, working on cars, digging in the garden, or if you enjoy ballroom dancing. Hobbies, again, it's something you're going to be actively doing, and you're going to be forming more of those connections. Now this is one of my favorites. How many of you guys like to travel? Do you guys like to travel? So you want to learn a foreign language. How many are going to go to China if you don't know a word they're saying? Chances are that would be really intimidating and you may not want to go. But another way we can further build those connections and continue learning is by learning foreign languages. These can include Chinese, Rome, Italian, and others. Now, as we continue our education, we can also continue with advancing our career skills. If you're in the medical field, this would include your CMEs, continuing medical education. You have to do this every year in order to remain licensed. There's also other jobs that you have to do the same thing, whether you're a teacher or even just a nail technician. You have to continue your education in order to remain licensed. There's other benefits. You can, if you have a bachelor's already, you can go after your master's degree. This is going to further your income. And again, what's the best thing? It's going to build those connections so we aren't going to face the troubles of dementia and Alzheimer's. Now, as you can see, having an education and growing that education is vitally important. Not only is it vitally important to yourself, it's vitally important to your family, it's vitally important to your health, and most importantly, it's vitally important to the Lord. Thank you.